Hey, YouTube Rando here. So we were just doing our finds videos. Oh, the shirt's growing. Yeah, there's a dog under there. I just thought it was a pile of blankets. Nope, it's dogs. We just did a video on our finds videos on this camera we picked up. It's the ALC 1080p Full HD Wi-Fi cam. And we wanted to come do a quick review on it. I wanted to come do a quick review on it. So people always say when I say we, who do I mean? When I first started doing videos, my wife helped me with my videos. If you notice my first videos, there was somebody else filming usually. Or somebody helping me knead the dough or whatever we were doing, if we were doing cooking videos or whatnot. She used to help me, so I used to say we. And I just got used to it, so I still say we. It's just me. So I wanted to do a quick review on this camera that we picked up. I shot video of the monitor as it was going. So what I did is I'm talking during the video. So I'm gonna put those two segments in with this video, but at the end of this video I'm just gonna show some footage of the cameras that's actually from the camera, right? So it has a memory card in the back of it, and you put your memory card in there up to like 128 gig or something like that, and it records to that memory card constantly, whether it has Wi-Fi or not. Every time the motion detection gets set off, it goes to Wi-Fi and it shoots it to your phone, so you can actually physically see it wherever you are. You know, if you're not at home, you can look at your security camera through your phone with this, which is cool. But even if your Wi-Fi is down, it still has onboard recording. It has a DVR built into it, so it'll actually record the footage. And I think it's 2 minutes after the motion sensor sets off, it'll record for 2 minutes after it doesn't see anything. So if somebody's in your yard stealing something for 18 minutes, you're going to get the footage of 18 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of them stealing it, right? So it'll record as long as somebody's standing in front of it moving around. It'll keep recording. If not, if like a vehicle drives down your street, it records for 2 minutes and then cuts off. And then it overwrites the SD card. So you never really have to pull it out unless you have something happen. Then you pull the SD card out and you have your footage of, you know, whatever you wanted to catch, a robbery or something, say. So you don't have to pull the SD card out. It constantly overwrites it. At the end, it takes the very first video, it erases it, and it records the new video, and it just keeps doing that. So if you leave for a week, go out of town and come back, all that week's footage should be on the SD card when it's all said and done. Maybe even more from the previous week. Because I did notice I had a 16 gig card in there. It lasted close to a week, and I have the sensitivity settings on the motion detection set at around 50%. I think it's 60% on night and 50% on day. So it picks up a little bit of everything. If somebody walks in the yard, it instantly goes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the other videos, and then like I said, after I cut those two videos in that we shot, I shot one daytime and I shot one at nighttime, and then I'm going to actually roll in footage from the SD card from a rainstorm, and then I think I have one from daytime to look at. And again, you can set this up where it does better streaming, to where it's constant streaming if you have slow broadband, or you can set it up to where it does better footage. If you have higher broadband, you can set it up to record better. And I kind of switch it off on my peak. Like if it, you know, if it's a Monday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I have it set. You're knocking it over. I have it set. Oh hell, I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, the dog took my thought from me. She's right there. Hey. Yep, she's under there. She ain't moving. Anyways, like I was saying, great little camera. I'll let you read everything. You can see there, 65-foot night vision, smart motion detection. It has a mask on it too. You can set it up to where it'll mask the street, to where if cars are passing down the street, it doesn't start recording. You can actually mask it to where it decides where the motion detection goes on. So I think it's a cool camera, and you can upload directly to the cloud. with this thing. It has free cloud storage, you can see there. So I think it's an awesome camera. And I think what I was saying was the sensitivity setting, or no, the video setting. Whenever it's peak hours, when there's a lot of people on the internet's running slow, I set it on better streaming. And then like at night before we go to bed, or during the day while everybody's at work, nobody's really on the internet, so internet's pretty fast, and I'll set it on to where it gets better footage. So less streaming, better footage, or you can get better streaming with a blurrier footage. So it has different settings on it. So I'm gonna roll those other videos in, and then I don't think I'm gonna shoot an outro for this video. It's just gonna end during one of the segments of the actual footage from the SD card. So we'll be back. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like during the daylight hours, and kind of show you some of the features on this camera. And I know my yard looks like crap right now. I need to mow, and I've got like 3 different projects going on right now. You can see my wood out there I've been cutting on, making planks for the walls in my closet, and making a bed out of it. So I got a lot of different stuff going on. I'm redoing my raised beds. The logs I laid for those are rotten, so just a lot going on. So just bear with it. I know it's a mess, but I wanted to show you guys some features on this camera that's pretty cool. For one, it has motion detection, and what you can do is you set your sensitivity. So like in the daytime, I have my sensitivity set at 50%. So if somebody's not in my yard, it pretty much isn't going to go off. If somebody drives down the block, it'll go off, and it automatically starts recording for 2 minutes. Another cool thing is you can block out parts of that facial, or not facial recognition, but motion sensor. You can block out parts of it. So like I can block out this street over here, I can block out this street back here, I blocked out the church and all this, and I blocked out my neighbor right here. So the only thing that detects motion is right in here in the alley, and right on the front of my street, and then in my front yard, which is pretty cool, and I'll show you all that in just a minute. But I did want to show you some other cool things about it. Is you can like you can zoom in, you can move the camera around with, well, not the camera itself, but the picture. And you can see there's a little bit of a lag on it. I also noticed there's about a ½ second delay on it. If somebody's speaking outside and I can hear them through my window, on the camera it's about ½ second to 1 second behind. So there's a little bit of a gap there, and there's a little bit of a lag. It does stop sometimes, and it'll say it lost signal, and then it'll come right back. See, that car is going down my road right now, and it didn't do it. Oh yeah, I have the road blocked out, that's right. Okay, so if I didn't have the road blocked out, it would have just popped up a notification on my phone telling me that my motion detector was set off. And that's the coolest feature, is you can be away from your house and you can still check out the feed on your camera, which is pretty cool. And it'll let you know when that camera sets off and it's actually recording. So it'll send a notification, you can just turn it on. So I'm going to go into a different setting real quick here and show you guys the block out feature. And again, you can set the sensitivity on motion detection up to 100. And if you were like indoors, if you were using it as an indoor camera, you would set it on 100. And then if anything walked through, you'd be able to see it. Alright, let me get the settings here. Gotta punch in a password. Okay. So you go to sensitivity detect mode. So here's where you can, I don't know if it'll flip back around for me. So here's where you can set the sensitivity, so you see daylight or nighttime. I got that backwards. This needs to be at 50 and this needs to be at 80. And if you set it on 100 outside at nighttime, which I'm going to come back in a minute and show you guys what it looks like at nighttime. If you set it on 100, every bug that comes across the lens or firefly or what have you is going to set it off. So you'll be getting a lot of notifications. I did notice that. I set it on 100 and it was going crazy there for a minute. Alright, let's go motion mask. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Let's try to make it come around for me. And it's not going to do it, of course. I'll just show you right here. You can see I have parts of it blocked out. I actually just unblocked this part, but you can set it up to where you can block out the motion. So if I didn't want a part of my yard where my dogs were, say if the dogs ran over here, I could actually set it up to where it doesn't show the motion of the dogs, so it won't pop up every time. I'll leave it set about right there, just to where it blocks out this other road and kind of blocks out the field across the street and whatnot. That's about it. So we're going to go and we're going to wait till nightfall here, and I'm going to turn all the lights off in my yard. It's going to be pitch black. Literally, when you walk out in my yard, you cannot see anything with the lights out. So I'm going to cut the lights out, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on night vision. So we'll be back. Alright, so I know this camera is not doing it justice. It looks a whole lot better than what it looks like in the viewfinder anyway. It looks really, there's a bunch of lines right there in the viewfinder, so it's probably picking it up on the camera. And those lines aren't there. It's a nice clear view of the front yard, and like I said, it's completely dark out there. I have no outside light on. This is all infrared lighting. There are no street lights right here or on this corner. The only street lights way over here in the opposite direction, so the camera's pointing this way, the street lights way over there on the other corner, so nowhere near here. This is the nearest light right here. So my street's pretty dark. You usually cannot see it at all, and compared to the other video we did on the other surveillance camera that we picked up from Harbor Freight for like $20 or $30. I don't remember what it was. It was a black and white camera. It was really, really grainy. You couldn't see anything at night. Like, I'm seeing my cat playing right there on my boards, and then I can count the boards, you know, and I can actually make it brighter. This is a level 4, and you can turn it up to level 5, so you can make it a whole lot brighter than what it is right there. But when headlights come down the street, all you can see is the headlights. It's just a bright light. You can't really make out what kind of vehicle it is, and you can see, I can make out the vehicles. I don't know if it's showing it on camera, but I can plain as day make out what kind of vehicle this is and what kind of vehicle this is, and so I can see the vehicles going down the road fairly easy. I really like this camera. And you can even see right here there's a string hanging down. That's like a cobweb or something. You can't see it in the daytime. It only picks it up at night. And you can see all the little bugs flying around. They're attracted to that infrared light as well, I believe. They're always flying right in front of the camera. So you could very easily see somebody walking through your yard with this. And like I said, I have the sensitivity set on 80. Well, I do now. So if somebody walks through my yard, it's going to send that notification. I can instantly turn on the camera. It instantly starts recording for 2 minutes until it doesn't detect any more motion. So if they're there for 10 minutes, it's going to record the full 10 minutes. And it has that onboard micro USB port, and then you can put like a 128 gigabyte card in it. Doesn't take up, this kind of video doesn't take up a whole lot of space on a memory card either, so I don't know how often you have to swap it out. We're going to have to do an update on this one, which we'll do further down the road. We'll do an update on it and let you guys know exactly how long the 128 gigabytes will record, and that kind of stuff, like how many hours or what have you. So we'll do an update later. I think we're going to do an update on the other camera as well here pretty soon, because heck, we've been using it for 2 or 3 years now, so it's been a good camera. So we'll do a little update on it. Stop. that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, YouTube.